Hello everyone, it's Evan, or Grandpa Dreadnaught from Nerds Delta, and today I'll be doing a movie review of the newly released Thor Ragnarok. Now, my initial impressions of this film, from watching the trailers, was it was focusing very much on the comedy and the buddy relationship between Thor and Hulk, which we had kind of seen develop from Avengers throughout that film, and then into Ultron, that sort of stuff. And I think it was a bit ambitious, in all honesty, to begin with, simply because these were two characters that hadn't really seen eye to eye, and that hadn't really had a lot of interaction with the wider world, unlike Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain America, who had had multiple time periods of contact with like villains like Red Skull, that sort of stuff. With me watching the film, that was completely and utterly wrong. So let's go from the beginning, and then we'll sort of go through it and have our sort of thoughts and discussions about it. When the film starts, it's very much a throwback to 80s Marvel, and you can instantly tell that with the visuals, with the music, the intro just by itself, the text for Thor Ragnarok, and it even says like influenced by Jack Kirby, that sort of stuff. You can tell instantly. The film opens up with just witty dialogue from Thor. This I'm not going to go into too heavy spoilers because obviously this is not a spoiler review. But film opens up, Thor witty dialogue, other characters have witty dialogue, and that gives you the pace of the film. This tells you what the film's going to be like from the get go. The director, Taika Waititi, hopefully I'm saying that right, knew that this film was going to be the next step into the Marvel franchise. We've had the first Thor movie which established the character, that's fine. We then had Thor Dark World, which was a lot darker, a lot more Shakespearean in its tone, which a lot of people didn't really like or wasn't really well received. I personally loved it. I thought it was a brilliant film, especially with Christopher Eccleston as the villain playing Malekith. This film is so different from the previous Thor films and like the entirety of the MCU, apart from Guardians of the Galaxy. And as you can tell by the trailer, it borrows heavily from Guardians of the Galaxy's success, which is fine. It's the MCU; they can do what they want. The visuals, the set design, the costumes, very Guardians of the Galaxy. The music is less 80s theme tunes, but more upbeat, more electronic, more like EDM kind of music than the other Thor films I have, which is very, orchestra, all that bassy, trumpety music. The one thing that really makes this film stand out is the humour. And I know a lot of people say it's not meant to be a comedy, it's meant to be it's Thor, it's action, want to see him hit things with his hammer. Well, you can tell from the trailer that the hammer gets destroyed early on. And I really think that's a brilliant weight lifted from Thor's shoulders because it brings him down to earth, brings him down to a more human level. And he gets through the loss with humour, which is awesome. Love it. His interactions with the Hulk are hilarious. His dialogue with Jeff Goldblum's character, the Grand Master, is hilarious. But the person that stands out for me is Korg, who's a creature. You don't really see in the trailers. I won't tell you what his character does or what his whole role in the film is, but he steals the scene. In every scene he's in, he just steals it. And it's voiced by Taika Waititi, the director. And it's just fantastic. Really is brilliant. So that's the kind of feel of the movie with the whole humour concept. The other things I want to talk about are the visuals. Now, it's psychedelic. That's like the word I would have to use is psychedelic, just because you can't describe each individual scene look at it as an individual word. The whole film is psychedelic from the start to finish. It's just a roller coaster of colour, of sound, of camera angles. It looks like a Beatles album cover. Is the best way I can describe it, which is fantastic. It really throws back to old comics, which as someone who reads, the older comics, not just Marvel but DC and like Image, Vertigo, that sort of stuff, earlier stuff, it's really pleasing to see. And even if you don't read the comics like the old ones, you can go to this film and it's refreshing. It's so refreshing to see new, just new people come into the film, like Taika Waititi. That was his whole purpose of being in this film, was to breathe new life into the franchise, which he has done a brilliant job. And the reviews speak for itself. It's a fantastic, fun, witty film, which I think is great. You don't have to go into the film as a Marvel fan. You can go in there to watch a guy have fun, basically, and beat up a load of dudes. It's just funny. It's funny, it's witty, it's action-packed, which the action isn't as heavily focused on as it is in the other Thor movies, and indeed the MCU. It's more about the dialogue, which I think is really refreshing to see. And like I said, with Korg, with Hulk now speaking, is like an 8-year-old child. That level of, me do this, I talk like this kind of thing. It's funny, but it doesn't take the mick. It's just funny, and I can't describe it without the person being there, without you sitting down watching the film and then afterwards going, yeah, I see what you mean. So my advice would be, go watch the film, enjoy it like I did, and just go in there with an open mind, because if you're a dedicated Marvel fan, you'll love this film. If you're someone who liked Deadpool with that level of sarcastic humour, or if you loved Guardians of the Galaxy with the whole psychedelic 80s theme, you'll love the Thor movie. Now, if you liked The Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier, or you liked the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I know they're not dedicated Marvel movies, but the Spider-Man, so I'll include it. I don't think you'll enjoy this film as much as you could, because it's such a unserious tone for the movie, which I love. I can't stress enough how much this franchise needed it with a new direction. That being said, I love Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier. It's still in the top 3, but Thor Ragnarok has definitely stolen its place as I'm going to say number 1 Marvel movie, just because it's so fun to watch. And it doesn't even have like the emotional impact of Winter Soldier with the whole reveal of Bucky being the Winter Soldier, or with the first Avengers film with them invading New York. It doesn't have that same emotional impact, but it doesn't need it, because this film has been a long time in the making, with Ragnarok being the final event in Asgardian mythology. You see that conclusion kind of the Thor character. The old Thor, the long-haired, brutish, dim-witted kind of barbarian. His role is done with, and it's now time for a newer, fresher Thor, which is a brilliant decision on Taika Waititi's part. So I'll finish off with saying that I would give this film a solid 9 out of 10 for visuals, for the effects used. It was so believable. You thought you could think you were there on Sakaar, which is the junk planet they're kind of on. And just for the general acting was brilliant. Kate Blanchett as Hela was fantastic. Carl Urban as Scourge, awesome. But yeah, I would seriously suggest, please go watch this film and please enjoy it, because you are really missing out if you don't go see it. But that's all from me. Once again, it's Evan from Nerds Delta, and please have a nice day.